So I don't know if you guys remember that story about the bodega worker who killed the guy after the guy came behind the counter and stuff like that.
Happened in Harlem.
Happened in Harlem. So originally his bail was set for $250,000. After the camera angles and stuff came out, it was lowered to $50,000. The guy is out now.
Yes.
And now, like, there are other bodega workers who want, like, a bill passed for them because they say we need protection and stuff like that. There are a lot of people still angry at him for killing him. But I always, like, think about when situations like this happen, I always think about, like, just kind of as a culture, our aversion. Like, we hate to deal with the consequences of our actions.
Especially when... In most cases, we can clearly see we were wrong.
Right. And even in this situation specifically, I don't think he should have got killed. Right? If that was my family member, I'd be like, damn. But he was completely wrong. Like, completely honestly wrong for going back there, for getting in the dude's face and shoving the dude. Because at that point, all bets is off because you don't know how the other person's going to react. And that's with any situation. That's when... somebody cut you off and you get in front of them, curse them out. That person could come out
with a gun.
You.
It happens.
It happens.
The shit escalated quickly. Shit went from 0 to 100.
Yes.
Now, one component that we don't talk about enough is 99% of these bodegas are owned by Dominicans.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
In a community filled with black people.
Okay.
So there's already, even though we understand the lineage of the Dominican brother and sister.
Yeah, you black, but you black like this.
You know, but you black like this.
Black like this.
You know,
Yeah.
You black too, no, you know.
Yeah.
So there's always a discrepancy there.
Yeah.
Right? They don't ever pull that little black book out and give us a little credit and shit that they do for their people.
Yeah.
So there's always, it's not as bad as the black and the Chinese, you know, when you go to the Chinese restaurant and shit like that. But there is still a disconnect. If you don't speak Espanol, there's a disconnect there. Yeah. So let's factor those things into the conversation when we speak about a community that we own nothing in. And other people can come in and just set up shop because Goya, I told you, will lace their whole shelves with Goya products on consignment because that's how they keep their... You know, so when all of these things take place and then the anger of the situation, whatever's going on. Now, let's factor in his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Something about a bag of chips or something and it got out of hand. She wouldn't put a battery in his back. Yeah. And he came in. You got to know your personnel. Like, if your girl is a troublemaker, you need to know your girl is a troublemaker. So then you need to assess, no, real talk.
Yeah, like, wait, what did you do?
What the fuck did you do before I go in here and get my ass whipped or die?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I need to know. I already know you're an agitator. I already know you a fucking big mouth if your girl is that. Yeah. I already know you like to start shit, you passive aggressive. Don't put me in a situation where I got to fight this big nigga for some shit you did that we could have avoided, right? Yeah. So I don't know all the particulars. But there's a space you never go in with any man, especially an old school nigga. That's an old school nigga who just picked up and he knew where to, you know what I mean? So there's just a space of anybody you don't go in, especially with your anger that has nothing to do with me. You didn't pay for it or whatever the case may be. So the consequences of that led to death, but it's a lot of different moving components. So when I look at it, I take all of them things into consideration. When we bark on the Chinese dude, but we don't own nothing here. And the Chinese dude has come and taken full advantage. Or the Korean, or the hair people, or, you know what I'm saying, all of these people who come to our neighborhoods and set up shop and use us, and we own nothing. Yeah. We should be mad, but we should be mad enough to start doing business. There was a time in the 70s and 80s in Harlem, it was black stores all up and down Harlem, grocery stores.
Yeah, but Harlem, like, when I was younger, because my grandmother lived in Harlem, so my mother, she would obviously take us on the weekends to see her. It just felt different. You know what I mean? It just felt black. Like, it's no other way to explain that. To now, you know. So
now you have all of these bodegas banding together, sort of like the cab service.
Right.
Why couldn't we do that?
Right.
Whenever they kill a cabbie, all of them Dominican cab drivers all line up because they've come here to make their money and exploit your ass, and you still haven't figured this goddamn thing out. So the question of the day, we're gonna open up the phone lines.
Okay.
Is, did you think this, not the killing being justified, do you think the bail was justified, and do you think the deli worker was justified? Remove your biases about the Dominican people if it's not relevant to what we're talking about, right? I'm not just saying because he was Dominican, I was just laying a backdrop. I'm talking person to person. It could have been a white person. It don't matter. Was the black guy wrong for entering into that space? And, you know, so I'm going to open up the phone lines and take a call or two, and we can get this portion of the show going. Peace, you on the air with the UrbanX Nation. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, my God. Peace, peace, peace. It's Foxy Moon. Salute to Brother Malcolm and Brother Dot.
Peace,
Salute.
peace.
Calling in from the Bronx.
From the BX, let's drop a bomb to that. Let's drop a bomb to that.
So really quickly on the situation with the Dominican store owner and the young man. So in the bodegas, mainly they're either Dominican or Puerto Rican, right? Old school, you know, back in the day. But some of them, if they know you and you've been around long enough, they will give you credit, depending on who you are and how good you come back and you pay that credit.
Yes, yes.
Sure.
I'm in that neighborhood and they've given me credit numerous times.
Got you.
But I also understand that they still have some kind of discrimination against blacks, especially darker-hued black people in the community. Now, we don't know if this young lady was a frequent flyer.
Right.
And we also understand that the EBT card was empty or whatever the case may be. If he doesn't know who she is, his demeanor could have been a little sideways to her where she reacted instead of just saying, you know what, okay, cool, and leave.
No, you are correct. And if she was a frequent flyer, he might have just like, bring the money back to me. You know what I mean? So there are a lot of different things we don't know about she may have been embarrassed. Maybe he embarrassed her. She didn't have no money on her card. So there are so many moving factors that's going to make it seem like it was over a bag of chips, but it probably was deeper than that. You know what I mean?
But in the overall history,
the history is going to say it was a bag of chips. But as Sis is breaking down,
yeah, no, I understand.
There are a lot of different moving parts to that.
That's correct. So while we can't really get in arms because there are people that, you know, want the old man to do some time, but we really don't know how it all escalated. And my surmise is because I've seen how it can flare up a little bit when some women come in there or they've got multiple kids. And I don't know, like, I'm kind of like on the fence where she might not be a frequent flyer and where he was just kind of like, look, you know, he might have told her a couple of times, like, listen, there's nothing on it. He might have checked the card a couple of times.
Right.
And she probably, because some women come, let me retract that. Because I'm going to go into my women feminist thing, and I'm like, we need to slow down with all of that. Because, yes, women, we're emotional creatures, but she probably took it the wrong way.
Yes.
And that's where it escalated. And then there's another story where she also had, she took the knife to him. So, like you said, Brother Dot, there is a moving part. There's a lot of moving parts to that. But I just wanted to give my input on that, you know, because I'm from the Bronx and I see how that goes down. I'm still here. 10 toes down, but salute to UrbanX, salute to Mama Dot, and the rest of UrbanX family.
We appreciate you. We really appreciate that. Talk to you soon. BX all day.
Later.
Peace.
BX all day. Nigga, throw my axes up.